Yeah, that. Get out of here. So let's take a look at the box. We got 6 different rider forms in this one belt. So Glare, Glare 2, also Glare 2, Gazer, also Gazer, Jamato Gazer. It's not confusing at all. On the top, what we have are probably rules for the Desire Grand Prix. I don't really feel like translating it. On the side, definitely more. And on the back. No, there's no Sad Pac-Man. But here we have the Memorial Vision Driver. And this shape might look familiar to you. Oh, what might this be? Yeah, they remolded. Well, they turned the Vision Driver into the Zillion Driver. And I wanted the Vision Driver first. But when I was ready to buy it, I couldn't find it in stock. And I thought it was too expensive. Which is hilarious considering how much I paid for this. But I found out this was a thing and put in a pre-order. And now I finally have one. So things they changed from the regular version. All the red is now metallic paint. And it looks nice. This is a leather strap. And they adjusted this area to better show the screen. Because I guess the light would peek out from the edges, or leak out. And they've fixed that to apparently not do that anymore. But I just saw this belt and I was like, I gotta have that. It's got the same features as a Zillion, like a fingerprint there, except, yeah, it's actually a fingerprint on this one. There's a button right here, a 2-sided button, that we'll get to that. There's an on-off right there. Compartment for 3 AAA batteries. This was made in 2022. Like they changed the sound and they added some things, but they didn't change the body of the belt. But you also get these straps, which are standard issue for CSM, more like this kind of thing, which can extend to fit my fat waist. You get the back piece, which is also on a Velcro, and you get the Providence card and its holder. Here's how it looks compared to the other one. Might just be me, I think I prefer the black card. The only thing that would be better would be a pass, if you know what I mean. We got 6 sets of transformation sounds to go through, so this was the wrong shirt. I'll be right back. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. Let's turn it on. Much different visual from the Zillion. Like, I like the color scheme more, the black, red, and purple. Much nicer color scheme, but also this was going for obviously a more reflective look, like a 3D depth, and this is pretty much just going for a flat screen. TV. I'm wearing a flat screen TV now. Oh, well, let's talk about one of my favorite things of this belt. So when you're not transformed and you press this button, you get upgrade or shutdown. The similar sounds we'll hear in a bit. But if you press them really fast, you get... It's not me telling you, it's the belt telling you to shut up, Karen. I don't think I've ever had a belt tell me to shut up before. So, in the original version of this, you just pressed... Well, you just pressed to activate which transformation you want. Glare, Glare 2, Gazer. But in this one, they changed that. So not only can you cancel the transformation by pressing the button again, to change it, to change which form you want, one half of the button, the left half, you press it and hold it. Now we're at Gazer. Glare 2. Glare 2. Gazer and... Jirapira. Jamato Gazer. So let's go back to the start. And first up is me. A.K.A. Gyoria, who was the first game master we see, and possibly the blandest character of all time. Like, he's the concierge, and secretly the game master, but he's just nothing. He just explains, well, stuff's happening. Like, he's so bland. And not only did they give him one of the coolest drivers ever to introduce, they gave him, honestly, one of the blandest transformations I think I've ever done. Like, that's really cool. Him just taking off his glove and doing that is not cool. He's trying to be cool, but he's just not. And I guess I should mention later in the show, or not even later in the show, before he even is revealed, Ace uses one of his wishes after winning the Grand Prix to make him and the staff his family. So Gyoria basically is forced to become Ace's father. Well, sometimes you do have to force them to stay, because otherwise they go out for milk and you never see them again. But that kind of starts his resentment for Ace and his desire to remove him from the Grand Prix, even if it means using a suicide bomber. I wish I was kidding. He attaches a bomb to Punk Jack that whenever he gets close to Ace in that particular episode, it explodes! For that moment, it feels like he takes Punk Jack out, like trying to kill Ace. I'm just like, where did the suicide bombing thing come from? But he does end up eliminating Ace cheating, because the producers don't want the game masters to actually be part of the game. They want them to be bipartisan, like have no stake whatsoever, which Kyoria just goes against, and he eventually gets replaced. But we do have some voice clips from him. Which you just press this button down here. Those are the rules of the Desire Grand Prix. Something about that time. He's talking to Punk Jack, telling him it's his mission to eliminate Ace Gates. He's still talking to Punk Jack.
Retarded. Retired.
And that's him actually eliminating, because the rules of that particular Grand Prix were only who had a driver was able, like whoever had a driver at the end of the time limit, and somebody had taken everyone's driver, so they were hunting all the drivers, and through means of cheap tactics, he was able to prevent Ace from reacquiring the driver. I think that's something about the Kamen Riders not being needed. That wasn't him, but, he didn't feel that way, so I'm not. Something the equivalent of disappear. Taking back a driver, it's a bit more complicated than I have time for, but he did eventually return after being defeated due to Gates' shenanigans, and was on Gates' side at the end to retrieve the Vision driver that the bad guys had stolen. Because the Vision drivers not only hold like terabytes of memory of like all previous Desire Grand Prix, but you need 2 Vision drivers, one from a producer and one from a game master, to access the dimension that the goddess of wishes is in. And the bad guys use that to reach her and eventually get their own wish, which is a bad thing. And we've gone back to the start. So to deactivate the transformation, you press on the right side of the button. Or if you just press it once, you get sound effects. But we do have to do the final attacks. So we get 1. You get delete, which was on here, but now is here. And if you... Oh no, that's not what I was thinking of. What I also noticed they changed is, at least on the Zillion driver, you couldn't activate like the second final attack if you've already, like, if you're in the middle of a final attack. Like, you swiped it once, and before you could swipe it again, it went into the sound effects. With this, you can just swipe for a second whenever you want. So we also have hacking, which is like Vision or Glaire's whole thing. Is he took control of Punk Jack, and he could take control of other riders, sort of his like generic rider personal army. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like these sort of things all over the design of Glare, Gazer, even up to Regad and Regad Omega, that can actually eject from the suit itself to use as mind control devices. And you don't get a second sound effect for that. Or for this. But you do have access to this. And you get that. The Vice Driver. So now we press and hold the right button, and it deactivated the transformation. So let's switch to the next one, who is Gazer. Niram. It's better to be a Gazer than a Glazer, I guess. But he is the first producer we see, and the predominant producer after the Game Master is eliminated. He is the one who removes the Game Master because he says a Game Master should be impartial. Pretty sure that was the word I was looking for earlier. But he's also a bit smug because he has his idea of what reality is, and he wants the Desire Grand Prix to be as realistic as possible, which makes him kind of delusional when you think about it. He's basically in a superhero show where you're fighting walking, talking Aubrey 2s. There's really not much that's realistic in that. But be that as it may, that's the reason he actually fights Buffa at one point in the show, because Buffa was supposed to die. Except he didn't. But using the Jamato, he came back, so he's like, Buffa, you're a fictitious stain on my reality. Saying the players should die when they're supposed to die. Dying being realistic. And his suit is also really cool. The white and the blue and the gold. Even though it doesn't match the belt's color scheme, it still looks really cool. So we got some sound effects from Nemuru. Nerum. He almost has like a childish glee. You can kind of hear it. You done? No comment. Talk to the hand.
君一人に何ができる？この世界のリアルこそが女神の御心。全てを忘れて楽になれ。
He also fought Gazer Zero, which was the thing. Ah. Hold on. Yeah, he fought Gazer Zero, like in a tie-in sort of spin-off that was set before the depiction of the Desire Grand Prix in the show, because he had his mind set on who would be like I guess the person that become the god, and she was eaten by the Jamato. So he ended up fighting like a Gazer Zero in that movie.
諦める以外に君が幸せになる術はない。ありえない。こんなライダーが存在するはずがない。
Hold on, we're not done.
後戻りはできませんよ。全てを思い出せば戦わざるを得なくなる。命がけのゲームで。どうやらこの世界は面白い変化を遂げそうだ。もはや人類滅亡は避けられないリアルか。世界を変えられるか。キーツデザイアグランプリ新シリーズの幕開けだ。
Okay, now we're done. I did a horrible attempt at his transformation, because the arm pose is like he circles around his head. Innovation and control. Gazer. One of the best parts of his time in the show is like his fight with Buffa, because he's just like not doing anything. He's letting Buffa just try and punch him and couldn't punch through his shield. And then eventually he just lets him like through the shield when he's not prepared, so he just freaking uppercuts him like and sends him flying. And then he gets dirt on his helmet, so he pulls out a cloth and just wipes the dirt off. He ends up letting Buffa survive because Buffa survived death twice. He was supposed to die again because he got hit with a final attack, but he activated like a zombie buckle right at the time, so he escaped death twice. So he's like, okay, you're more fun than I expected. You can keep going. So let's just... He has a different delete than Glare. Oh, come on. So let's move quickly on to Glare 2. Chirami was the replacement for Gyori. And the best way you could describe him is flamboyant. I don't mean gay. You can be gay and flamboyant, or flamboyant and not gay. They're not synonyms. He's over the top, kind of like, one of the things he does in a fight is the worm. He does that on the battlefield to avoid being hit. Like, he's quite extra, and he goes very quickly from scared to do things to, yeah, we're evil, so what? Yeah, he gets literally named Glare 2. I hate that name. He introduces himself. I didn't really need to introduce him. He has an interesting cadence. The fuck was that noise? Gwing, gwing. Are you a penguin? The fuck? And him being defeated. I have full control over. I'm sure it's supposed to mean like the game itself, but it just sounds like you have full control over the suit you're wearing. I have full control over Glare 2. And like, you can literally hear him as he says Hen Shin, like in the show he's literally like, how does, like, you can see him like literally like holding it to slide down. Like, also, yeah, I just did that. Whoops. Come on. How long does it take to... Okay, so let's move on to the other Glare 2. Yep, you can get it to... So, Beroba also gains access to Glare 2 at one point. She is the supporter of the Yamato. She steals the belt from Chirumi. And because it's fingerprint coded, she has to get her fingerprint changed to his. So she has to steal his fingerprint at one point to change it, to have access to the belt. Like, you don't need to transform to access like the goddess and all that stuff, like all the information in it. She just decides to, I guess, for one fight scene because she's extra like that.
あんたはどうでもいいのよ。私が欲しかったのはこれ。そう。創世の女神。そしてこのビジョンドライバーは創世の女神にアクセスするための鍵。でしょ。
Just a very pretty voice. I have no other way to describe it than that. And I would talk about her more, but I want to save that for, like, there's a different video, I feel like, going more in depth on her.
やっと会えたね、女神様。
But
さあ、私の願いを叶えてもらうよ。
she's taunting the goddess by like waving her wish right in front of her.
また来るね、女神様。今度はそいつのドライバーも手に入れて。
Like she's very sassy.
ようこそ、ジャマトグランプリへ。私がゲームマスターのベロバよ。
Yeah, she becomes the game master for the Yamato Grand Prix.
ほんと、面白いおもちゃよね。これがあれば、思い通りのゲームを作り出せるんだもん。ルール違反者発見。サポーターがゲームに直接手を貸すのは、ジャマグラでは禁止されてるんだけど。レッドカード。あなたは退場よ、ジン。さあ、そこの寝ぼすけさんもやっちゃいなさい。そこで見てなさい。推しの死に様を。こんな不幸なことはないわ。ゾクゾクする。無駄よ。ジャマトが天下統一を果たし、この世界の全てを支配するんだから。いざ尋常に勝負ってやつよ。そんで木にいる夏の虫、罠を仕掛けたとも知らずに。ギーツ、真っ赤な狐は使わせないよ。その強さにも代償があるよね。だったら一思いに行かせてあげる。か弱い女の子相手に本気でやる気？こっちのことを言うんじゃないよ。待ちなさいよ。知りたくないの？ギーツの弱点。特別に見せてあげるから。ギーツの母親こそが創世の女神よ。それならそれで最後までこの世界の不幸を味わい尽くすだけよ。ビジョンドライバーは返すしかなさそうね。ただし女神様に挨拶した後にね。私たちの最後のお願い聞いてくれる？最後の願いも叶えたし、これで心置きなく推しの最後を見届けられるわね。あんたはどうでもいいのよ。私が欲しかったのは
Yep, we've
これ。そう。変身。
I think the pause between I have full control over and Glare 2 is shortened on her version. Come on. Sugiwa? Oreda. So the second person to use Gazer is Suhel. I think I mispronounced his name in this review, but he is the one who created the Desire Grand Prix, and there's also Regat Omega. Before he was Regat Omega, he used a Vision Driver. He used Nirama's Vision Driver to become his own version of Gazer, which has red on the face, if you couldn't tell from red versus gold. And that's literally the only difference between their forms. So.
素晴らしい賞をありがとう諸君。その健闘をたたえ諸君を次なるステージへ招待しよう。
He's apparently also the voice of the belt itself. I guess heavily modulated. But...
我が名はスエル、
Suede.
デザイアグランプリの創始者。君たちの求めるものは何だ？求めるものがあるならばゲームを始めよう。ルールはただ一つ。最後まで生き残った者にこの世界を決める権利を与える。で、己の胸に湧き立つ欲望の火をつけ戦え。そのゲームの名はデザイア・ロワイヤル。創世の女神を最後に彼らの
The
醜い
goddess of wishes.
楽しもう。
Sozo no Megami.
デザイア・ロワイヤルスタートだ。
And basically, he created the Desire Grand Prix because he was bored and had a quite a sadistic view of what would entertain him. People killing themselves for wishes, and yeah, it's a bit dark.
この世界から撤収し、すべてなかったことにする。見せ物小屋の動物にもう餌は必要ない。グランドエンドと同時に我々は消える。女神と共に。お前はすべてを忘れるのだ。他でもない。女神自身の力によって。女神に意志など存在しない。願いを叶える。ただの道具に過ぎない。女神の力は時とともに弱りつつあった。願いを叶える女神など無価値なガラクタ。グランドエンドと共に処分するのみ。案ずるな。女神は新たな後継者へと引き継がれる。ギーツ、まさか創世の力を継承していたのか。だがその力は自らの意志で操れるものではない。忌まわしき力。私に意見する気か。創世の女神よ、グランドエンドを実行せよ。デザイアグランプリ、これにて終幕。グランドエンドは完了したはず。創世の力で抗ったか。お前が作り変える世界がユートピアとなるかディストピアとなるか見ものだな。素晴らしい賞をありがとう諸君。
Yeah, that one's shortened as well. Right. Watashi wa debanda. Last, but certainly not least, Jamato Gazer. It's from a stage show. It's not even, like, official form in the show. Like, apparently a Jamato gains access to this somehow. I don't know, I haven't seen the stage show. Only people in Japan have probably watched the stage show. or it might be on YouTube somewhere. But I do appreciate the form, as little of it you can see right here, like the green, like replacing the gold and the blue, and he's got some purple lines from the Yamato. He's got his own set of voice clips.
俺の心に芽生えた四つ葉のクローバー、その思いを遂げることこそジャマトの理想の世界、必ず叶えてみせる。
He's gonna make the world for Yamato? Something like that?
手に入れた創世の力で俺自身を新たな仮面ライダーに作り変えるとしよう。
Something about he has like ultimate power in his hands.
我が名は仮面ライダージャマト・ケイズ。ジャマト帝国をプロデュースする最強の帝王だ。
He's a bad guy voice, but a different way to Swell. Swell sounds like, I want to say smart, but like very cunning. Like he uses his words very, I don't know, poetically. But this guy's just like a different kind of sinister.
無様だな。もはやオーディエンスどもがジャマトに変わるのも時間の問題。せいぜい人生最後のひとときを過ごすがいい。四つ葉のクローバーの花言葉には復讐という意味もあるんだよ。お前らに世界を救えない。この俺に創世の力がある限り。無駄だ。奴は帰ってこない。浮世エース。まだ創世の力が残っていたとは。だが今さら現れてももう遅い。仮面ライダーは全員処刑する。人類ジャマト化計画はすでに進行している。すでに各地にジャマトがばらまかれている。お前らに救うことはできない。己の無力さに打ちひしがれるがいい。己仮面ライダー、ブーストの力がこれほどのものとは。ならば力ずくで仕留めるまで。復讐の邪魔をするな。ジャマトが人類にとって変わるんだ。
Now he's getting really angry.
そんなバカな人類ごときが。
And now he dies.
俺の心に目を。
Jira Pira. I have no idea what that said before the Yamato Gazer. I couldn't even, like, it sounded like something. I couldn't tell. Alright. Just to... Why not? And we're all the way back to the start. So yeah, that's quite a lot. You got 6 rider forms, 3 glare, technically, There are 2 different glare 2s, but they're still glare 2. And 3 different gazers. There's a lot of sound effects in this belt. And I honestly think whether you pick up this one or this one, you're gonna have some fun, because the sliding the cart is fun in a weird way. Like, I do kind of hope they put out a memorial version of this. I haven't seen anything about it yet, so I don't know if it will. But I want one that I can properly wear. It's a pain in the ass to try and wear this. And as for the Laser Rays driver, I'm probably not going to get it because it only has one transformation. Like, so the value for money, I don't really see it that much. But like this, yeah, I'm happy I own it. And if you're looking at it, if you can afford it, it's not the cheapest belt. I'll be honest. I think I spent as much in total, or maybe more, than the Master Morpher. Maybe around the same. If price is no object, I think it's worth the money. It's fun to play with, and it has like 6 different transformations, each with unique sounds. So go ahead and on this day, I see clearly that you should get a Vision driver. It might not make your Vision 2020. What happened? I can't see. But you might have some fun with it. Till next time. Gira Pira. Keep it weird. Bye.